All right, 100.7 Star Bubba Show in the morning. Hits all day, always available on the Odyssey app. So we do something called More Good Days in May, and we started this in 2020 because May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yep.
And More Good Days in May is our outreach when it comes to mental health awareness. And, we just want to normalize the conversations about mental health. And there's just so many different angles we can have on these conversations. And I think, Mel, you specifically do an amazing job of booking guests and getting people on here and just doing things to normalize these conversations.
Thank you, sir.
As you know, and I don't know if I've ever spoken about this on the radio before that I coach baseball. Have I ever talked about that? Once or twice?
One time you did. Just once.
And I talk about the Pittsburgh Hardball Academy quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
And it's kind of exciting for me because we've got some young men in the studio with us live today from the Pittsburgh Hardball Academy. This is my Nelson's in here also. This is my fourth year. I was doing the math this morning. I joined the program
2020
in the fall of 2020.
First, Bubba, I would like to be included in that young men conversation
compared
as well.
to me, everybody is.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that.
But so this is my fourth year. So if you think about this, basically all of these young men I've known it on some level since they were in 8th or 9th grade, right?
Yeah,
some level, and joined at different times. So there's a Pittsburgh Hardball Academy. Obviously, we do baseball, but there's so much more involved with the Pittsburgh Hardball Academy than just baseball. And one of the things happens to be Students in Action, which is about, sports is difficult. Sports is hard. Mm-hmm. Balancing, the stress of sports, the stress of life, the stress of your home life, the stress of your school life, and putting it all together. And that's what sports that's what it is.
Yeah. So Students in Action is a program put together by an organization called Multiplying Good, which is an organization that Pittsburgh Hardball Academy partners with. And one of their signature programs is Students in Action, which is a volunteer service learning project. And they specifically say service learning instead of volunteerism because service learning is not just doing a one-time giveaway of food or something of that nature. It's really a long-term project. And these young men have been working on this project for the past couple of years around student-athlete mental health awareness. So the people from Multiplying Good and Students in Action have really been a huge partner of Hardball. And Pittsburgh Hardball Academy is actually the only sports-based organization in the country participating in Multiplying Good Students in Action. So this is in every single state all across the country, and almost all of the programs are school-based programs, but we were the first and so far the only sports-based organization to participate.
Which is unbelievable. And
pretty impressive.
So when the meetings happened in the fall, I sat through the very first meetings, and that was the first I learned about it.
Yeah.
We had meetings before our practices downstairs in the Boys and Girls Club, the Boys Club of in Shadyside, and I sat through the meetings, and the thing that, and I'm explaining this to Melanie and everybody listening, that you guys built this, meaning like this wasn't some like pre-packaged program that you guys just like fell into. It was like, what do you want to do? How do you want to do this? What do you want to do? So the program that we're about to talk about, these young men and others built. You need to understand that.
Kid built.
And Students in Action is all about the students leading the project.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll turn it over. We have 4 student athletes here in the studio, and we'll let them kind of explain what they did and how they've led this project for the past several years.
Left to right on your radio dial, we have Zion, Eric, Peyton, and Chad. So Zion, you start. So how did you get started? When you first heard about this, let's talk about your involvement and how you thought this affected you and the other students you worked with.
Well, first of all, I always wanted to like get in service. And that was like a big part of like my life. And like before that, there was like minor service projects we did. And when I heard about this, it was like something to get more involved with like people my age and stuff. And it was just something to attack on.
Which is awesome. And think about this. So, and once again, we're a baseball-based organization that does so much more than just baseball. And we have a blast. And by the way, our baseball team kicks ass too. So that's good too.
You said a bad word.
Did I?
Yeah.
We're on the radio.
All right. Whoops.
And Eric?
When the project first started, it was a long planning phase, and we decided to go with student-athlete mental health because we see a lot of projects on homeless shelters, feeding, like stuff like that, and we thought, okay, mental health needs more awareness. It's not talked about a lot, and I always wanted to be someone included in a service project and helping and making a difference, so that's how we came up with it.
Can I ask you a question? I'm asking permission.
Yeah, ask what
Last
you
year,
want.
we had Pitt volleyball star on Juliana Dalton talking about Mental Health Awareness Month and her struggle with what her mental illness is. She just graduated. I'm very excited for her. Go ahead. What?
In fact, when we were having the initial meeting, she's somebody that I brought up to be included in this.
What, for your mental health personally as an athlete, what do you do to try to lessen that stress in your life? Is there anything you particularly do? Is it exercise? Is it listen to music? How do you tackle, because student athletes and mental health, that's a big issue.
Yeah. Well, I'll say a lot of people have a lot of different ways, their own personal ways. My go-to is music always. Like if I'm hitting, I'll listen to music. Like going to the gym a lot.
Good.
Like, just staying active, keep myself distracted.
Exercise and mental health.
And by the way, I
Very
just want to tell
important.
everybody that Zion goes to Central Catholic.
Okay.
And this other thing that's
I
very
don't know
super
where
cool
they
about
go.
Pittsburgh
Yeah.
Hardball is that, I mean, we have players from all over southwestern Pennsylvania. Obviously, Eric goes to Seton LaSalle,
Okay.
Peyton goes to Pine Richland, Chad goes to SciTech. So,
You
I mean,
know it
schools
all.
from everywhere.
I'm impressed.
I know. I spend
But
more
I mean,
time
like,
with
but remember, do you know their mascots of the school?
Yes, but
Okay.
Melanie, and this is not a joke. I spend more time with these 4 young men than I do with my own son, and that's not a joke.
Yeah, so they're part of your
not
family.
during this time of year, but in the summer, I spend more time with them than I do with my own kids.
Okay.
And I love them. They're like my own kids.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we're here with the Pittsburgh Hardball Academy for More Good Days in May. 100.7 Star. More Good Days in May, normalizing mental health conversations, and I love the fact that we've got the Pittsburgh Hardball Academy in, because, like I said, I'm a part of the organization, so I get to see firsthand how much it does and how many kids it affects.
Yeah.
And by the way, the growth. I don't even know. When I joined the program 4 years ago, I think there might have been 1 team, maybe 2 teams at the most. And now there's 13 youths playing. There's no girls softball involved. I mean, this is an organization that is growing exponentially, and its own facility, which is beautiful inside the Boys and Girls Club in Shadyside. It really is unbelievable. And so we'll start, Chad, you first. So let's talk about the program, because Pittsburgh, you guys all built this program and customized it for what you want. So tell us about that part of it and what you guys, what we did. All of it. Yeah. Everything you wanted to talk about. You're good.
So I'd like to talk about the project goal that we did for Students in Action. And our project goal was to raise awareness for mental health among student athletes. And to do that, we anonymously surveyed students in our academy, and then
Which, by the way,
we
think about this.
collected
That's
so
smart.
So they were asking questions and collecting data without anybody absolutely knowing what the purpose was and who was what.
Right. And sometimes it's a little bit easier to talk behind something like a microphone, but not, to share feelings. It's sometimes a little harder for especially guys too, to share. To do it anonymously was really a smart way to do
And
it.
what did you learn from the anonymous responses?
Yeah, so also like contributing with that, we worked with a lot of professionals in that field, and then student athletes themselves who have been in there. But anonymously serving them like helps you, like I think, like feel more comfortable, doing that.
Answering.
Answering, because you want to feel safe when approached with a topic like this.
Yeah.
Right,
So it's
right.
And I'm
important,
sure the statistics of what they found out were pretty evidently high.
Were you surprised by what you found out? Were the results of the anonymous survey surprising to you, or is it what you expected?
It's definitely surprising, You get to learn about, like, there's a bunch of different people that you're learning about, and then you kind of learn about the similarities in that aspect, and then you kind of build upon that in your project, and how you can try to affect them.
And we're calling it hashtag Stop the Stigma. Am I right on that?
Yes,
Okay, which is great.
which is awesome.
Great hashtag.
And Peyton, what was your take on this project as you were involved and you were helping lead it as well?
Yeah, no, I think that it was great to have it just naturally just build like this attention towards a topic, because obviously we talk about mental health amongst everyone all the time,
right?
And which is good, right? Because you have people dealing with their own things. You have a job, kids, whatever the case may be. But to add on a student athlete, it's, you got school, you got things outside of school, whatever you're dealing with outside of school, and then you add the whole sports aspect to that and all the pressures and all the worries and doubts and fears that go into that, that was really deep. And I think that everybody did a great job all around, teams on, getting this survey done and getting everything that we needed to do.
I wish more schools, I wish more colleges, I wish this was a thing across the board with kids in athletics with mental health.
Let's go around the room real quick. So let's go back to you, Zion. So do you find whether it's playing baseball for Central or playing baseball for Pittsburgh Hardball, because let's face it, baseball is a sport of failure. It is, right? Failure. So if you fail 70% of the time as a hitter, you're one of the best baseball players in the world, right? So what do you think, how do you handle, or do you find stress and pressure when you're playing baseball, and how do you deal with it?
Well, yeah. So, like, especially for school, right? You got to find ways to, like, tune out everything, because you may go 0 for 4, and you got, like, a 5-page essay, dude, that you got to do when you get home. So you got to find stuff to, like, tune out everything, calm yourself down, and to just find what works for you and to make things work.
Eric, so when you have so we're talking about an 0 for 4 day, but there's going to be days that you're going to be 4 for 4 also. How do you balance the ups and the downs of playing sports at the high level that you're playing?
I feel like with baseball especially, you have to realize that you're not always going to be hot. Not everybody's always hot. There's always going to be a cold spark in your season. You won't hit for 2 weeks, and then the next week you might be 4 for 4 every game. Like you said, the game is a failure. Like, you're meant to fail in the game, but you could still be the best player while failing. And
Absolutely.
I think that's like a big understanding people need to have, is you don't always have to be on to be somebody or something.
Wow. Chad,
That was deep.
Chad, Peyton's like, I want it. Peyton's like, give me the mic.
No, I just wanted to add on. Obviously, like, I might be a little bit biased, but I think that baseball is a very mentally draining sport. So that's why I think it was interesting that we had baseball players talking about this topic, because the game of failure, I mean, when you fail more than you are succeeding, that is very, very mentally taxing. And that's even when you're great. When you're great, you said that you fail 70% of the time. So especially when, like Z said, when you go 0 for 4 and then not even writing a paper the next day, but I mean, you have guys at school, talking about it like, oh man, this kid's in a slump, which you block that out, right? But it's still just something that.
But you still hear it,
right?
Oh yeah,
and especially
it's
as
all
a team,
noise,
right? Especially as a team, like you lose a big game, or you don't make that big play, like it's just the talk around the town. So that's gonna be within every sport, I feel like, but just for people, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand, like if you don't play baseball, you wouldn't understand that, like you're not going to get ahead every time,
right?
So
so Chad, talk about this. So we're talking about all the external pressures, because there's that, right? So oh crap, I was 0 for 3. Oh crap, I was 0 for 4. Oh crap, I made an error, whatever it might be. But how do you deal with the outside when you hear, like Peyton said, people talking about, oh man, you had a bad game? Is there a way that you can block that out?
Yeah, I think my way of blocking it out is actually showing it on the field. I know my key factors and what I can do in the game, and then off the field, how can I build upon this or something like that,
Do you feel that social media adds stress to all that too? Seeing things online, other teammates have done, other people, look, everybody, all of them are like, give me the microphone, Melanie.
Yeah. Talk about social media and the pressure that adds as a high school athlete or just a high school student.
Period.
To be 100% honest with you, I think social media is something that ruins people.
I love this.
And their mentalities. I think a lot of false things are spread on there. A lot of bad influences spread on social media. I mean, yes, there's good things, good ways to use social media, but I feel like people don't take advantage of the good ways to use social media.
And how old are you?
18.
You for president. You for president.
Eric's running for president.
Right there.
When we come back, more with the Pittsburgh Hardball Academy from More Good Days in May. I hope everybody's as inspired by this as I am. Nelson, grab the mic real quick. So we're talking about Pittsburgh Hardball Academy, Students in Action, part of Multiplying Good. We're talking about More Good Days in May, Mental Health Awareness Month, and all the amazing things at the Pittsburgh Hardball Academy. And once again, the only sports organization nationwide participating. Every other organization that is participating is school-based, which is just unbelievable. But you just did something recently with hardball with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, so as people might have known, the Penguins are a sponsor and the first professional sports team to be a sponsor of Pittsburgh Hardball Academy. And they put together an event, I believe it was in late April, where they brought in coaches from all across different sports in Western Pennsylvania to talk about student athlete mental health awareness. And they had professionals from all across the spectrum from doctors to psychiatrists and things of that nature. And they partner with UPMC to put this, and some other partners as well.
Of course.
But the Penguins and UPMC are both partners of Pittsburgh Hardball Academy. And so it was at PPG Paints Arena. There were probably 400 or 500 youth coaches, college coaches, athletic trainers, anyone that works with student athletes that were there. And they had different speakers talking about the effects of the sport and mental health. So there was one speaker talking about the transition from high school to college and how that takes a toll on student athletes, the effects of having an injury, the effects of other different pressures that were there. Each speaker was about 25 minutes, so it was really good, a lot of information there. But something that we hope, as you just mentioned before, we're the first Students in Action team. Hopefully from this, and we all have these T-shirts on that say "Stop the Stigma" that we wear out in the community. But hopefully from this project, and then what the Penguins and UPMC are doing, there'll be more teams participating in that. And that's our goal, is we want more and more youth organizations and more awareness to participate in programs like this.
Which will then, Nelson, make kids, not that they're kids, but make the younger generation way more comfortable. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, they're doing it.
Having these conversations.
Oh, that shirt. What's that about? What's this? It's just spreading it, the awareness, so then more comfortability on all levels.
Yeah, and obviously the stigma, you think of mental health as maybe a negative thing, but everyone goes through it every single day. Everyone has, it can be a very positive thing for you as well if you're able to control your emotions, understand.
Learning.
Does Nelson do a good job of controlling his emotions?
Well, hey, hold on. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
I can say that no, he does not. But listen.
Hey, you must not want to play so much this year.
But listen.
I had to. Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I know.
Here's what I will say. He is taking steps to
mitigate it.
Yeah, to mitigate it. He
to be better.
I agree.
He bought a couple stress balls from the dollar store.
Oh,
that
my.
have,
Hey, a dollar store is now a $5 store.
I agree.
Yeah.
Those stress balls work.
And they weren't just regular stress balls, though. They had like little happy sayings on it, like smile and.
So you have to practice what you preach, right?
Absolutely.
So everyone goes through it, and I watch so much baseball on a daily basis that these guys are great sometimes. So as a coach, you have a high standard for these individuals.
Yes.
And so that's a part of kind of all this learning for all of us, is trying to
try
to make sure that we all continue to develop all of our coaches. Staff,
Absolutely.
And that's the whole point of the program.
It really is true. I mean, and we all have our own styles. And one thing, the coolest part about hardball is that it is student athletes and coaches from everywhere.
It's not just one district.
It's not one district. And watching the cohesion amongst everybody is actually inspiring. Before we wrap up, I'm going to go one by one. I'm going to start with you, Chad. Talk about briefly how Pittsburgh Hardball Academy has affected your life by joining the program.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Hardball affected me a lot. They're more than just baseball. And through that, you become a better leader in person on and off the field. And I think that's a key aspect that I can take with me every single day and use every single day in my life that I don't think it would have been hard to get anywhere else.
Wow, quote that, kid.
Peyton?
Yeah, I think that the program has definitely taught me a lot, not only on the field, but off, for sure. I think all the things that we do outside of the realm of baseball like this, it teaches you a lot of lessons. Like, for instance, this has taught me, the importance of your mind and how your mind controls everything that you do, everything that you say. So if your mind's not in it, then, you just won't be very functional and won't be able to perform.
Eric?
I say the two main things I got from this organization, one being learning about myself, more about myself, and two, learning about how the world works and the way things are. I say about myself, this organization's taught me that, you have to drop your ego sometimes. And you're not as great as you think you are. And you can always strive to be better.
I may cry just a little bit.
Looking at the world, I'd say this has taught me a lot of lessons, especially with what we're doing now through the mental health and service projects, is you have to put good out into the world to get good. You know what I'm saying? To make the world a better place, you got to put good out into the world.
Z?
Yeah, obviously, this program help us get better at baseball, but it also helps us get better at just anything outside of baseball. networking skills and just helping us to get ready for the work field, and just they're hands on and they care about us, and we all lean on each other, and we're all there for each other, and we just help out with each other.
A lot of baseball teams, when they break at the end, like put their hands together and yell family. And I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of teams that are like that, but I can tell you that this group of young men, and whether it be the 18U, 16U, 13U, it really is family. That's not a joke either. That's legit.
Nelson, you should be so proud right now.
Yeah, and I am, and of course, I always like to say Brian Jacobson, who's the co-founder of the organization. You know, a lot of this was his brainchild, and he couldn't be here this morning, but you know, I'm happy to be involved and happy to have an impact. And I do want to share that, you know, Chad, Peyton, and Eric, who are all seniors this year, are all going to be going to college next year to continue their athletic and academic careers. Chad and Peyton at Cal U, and Eric at Virginia State University. And Zion's a junior, but well on the path to being able to continue his career in college as well.
If there's anybody listening to Bubba's show that wants to find out more information about hardball, where can they go?
Yeah, they can go on our website, www.pittsburghardball.org, or they can follow us on social media at PGH_hardball.
All right. Good luck with the rest of your seasons.
Thank you,
and
buddy.
we'll be spending the summer together.
Yep.
All right.